Welcome to another author conversation with Barbara Lapointe. I am so delighted to be here with one of the Clipston Publishing authors. She's debuting a brand new book called Adorata, and we're going to get into what that means. But first, just a reminder that at Clipston Publishing, we value books, we value women, we value creativity, and it's really where books come to life. Welcome to our conversation today, Tiziana.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, you have such a beautiful name, Tiziana DellaRovere. It's Italian,
Yes,
and I
it's
hope I I hope I said that right. You've
you did
written,
perfect. That's really, really good.
thank you. All right. So what I'm hoping we can accomplish today is to really dig in to find out about your book, Arada, and why it's an important book. So let's begin at the beginning. And first, hats off to you because you are a poet, an author, a healer, and you've created this book for the world. I mean, you have so much going on. I want to hear about it all. But let's start with what is this book about? It's called The Path of Enlovement. And I thought that enlovement was almost like a made up word. And then I looked it up because I thought, did she make this word up? You know, it's not enslavement, it's enlovement. And enlovement refers to a transformative spiritual practice. And I know your book talks about that. So I'm going to just open it up to you to share with us what this all means.
So, enlightenment, so Adorata is a form of spirituality, which is a feminine form of spirituality, because it wants to bring in the love of Divine Mother. And we all need the love of the motherly love, especially right now in our time. And it comes from a spiritual experience, a mystical experience that I've had of encountering Mother, Divine Mother in the embodiment of Mother Mary. So Mother Mary, this being, came to me in many years ago as a surprise. I wasn't expecting, I wasn't asking for that, but she came to me, and she enveloped me in a deep, profound love that is none like none of the love that I've experienced before in my life. And it's a love whereby I felt that I was seen and I was embraced all of myself, all my experience I've ever had, all the goodness, the talent, and all my mistakes and all my imperfection were all embraced in this unconditional and extraordinary love. And so when this being presented herself to me, I was wondering, and first of all, I sobbed because it's that kind of love that goes into all the different parts of, went in all the different parts of myself, and all the places that were looking for and feeling and longing for this love were touched, and so I had tears coming, but I wonder who are you? Who are you? And she said, I am Mary, your mother. And she said, right, Tiziana, right. And then I immediately started, got a pen and started writing what she was telling me. So so the book is the transcriptions of her words and her love that was not just for me, but was for all of us, for everybody in humanity. And so that's how it came to me, and that's how and that's the title of the book is Adorata, because I felt an adoration for her. It's the feminine aspect, the mother aspect of the divine, and I felt not only that I was adoring her, but she was adoring me. She was loving me unconditionally. And so the name Adorata, it's an Italian word that means the adored one and the one who is adoring. And the path of enlovement is really the path of love, the path of embodying, of learning to embody love. So that means learning to receive love, which is not that easy to do for many of us, and also learning to embody and giving it to the world.
I think this is such an important message or channeling that you've done, if you don't mind that word, because so often we walk on this earth and we're walking in separation. And also we live in a very masculine world. So to know that you received a visit from Mother Mary, like a divine mother, is amazing. I'm curious, when did this happen to you?
This happened on my birthday, the 30th of July of 1999, so a long time ago. And this is different than channeling. Channeling is when there is someone take on a spiritual entity or being, maybe very elevated, and takes on some aspect of your body and speaks through you. This was not like that. This was an apparition. She just came in the room, this being that was enfolded in this energy of many different colors, and with the outline of a figure of a woman, a feminine figure. But it was an energetic experience of this awareness, this consciousness, this beingness, then came to me with this love. So it was a dialogue. It wasn't something that was coming down into me. It was a dialogue.
Yes, yes. I'm so glad that you made that pointed distinction because I think people in the audience might have thought the same thing that I thought, but
Yeah,
you had a divine visitor or a divine
yeah,
visitation.
yeah.
And I was going to ask you if it was something you saw or something you heard or something you felt, like, what the experience, you felt so much love. And now you're telling me that you saw colors. Like, were the colors, was it beautiful?
It was extraordinarily beautiful. Um, so when there is a bridge between our physical reality and the reality of the unseen, the more subtle reality of that we call the spiritual reality. The communication is not exactly through our senses, although our senses are involved.
Mm.
It is more like an energetic, very it's like an energetic knowingness, but it's also visual. So it's very difficult to explain. It's like as if all the senses that we have melt together and create a knowingness and a communication. So yes, I saw colors. I felt it very concretely, and I heard her voice, her knowledge, but it's not through our physical senses. It's through a knowingness. It's like the consciousness expands, and it embraces other dimensions. And what really was significant to me is that I didn't ask for it. I wasn't there praying I was going, I became very still, and I went inside and I felt. And when I was in that expansive, still place, which that is inward, which is, by the way, the path of the feminine, to go inward, not to go out into the sky, but to go in and feel deeply um, our inner world. Then when you go deep enough under the emotions, under the thoughts, the emotions, then you touch a place that is divine. It's a divine spark within, which is pure and will also be pure, is the essence of who we are. And when I was in that state, that's when she appeared, much to my surprise. And actually, she continued to appear randomly, for 2 years. And then for 2 years, yeah. And and then one day she told me that she was leaving. It was complete what we had to do, and she she left, and I protested. It was very intense to be left by this extraordinary being of love. And
Make
she
me cry.
yeah, and she said to me, Tiziana, I'm always with you. I'm in your heart now. I'm in your heart.
Wow.
And so what she was directing me was a path, a spiritual step, which is that, and a profound truth, and that is that her love, her presence, the mother, the divine mother, is inside of us. So whenever I wanted to connect with her, I had to go inside. So that's where I found, and we all can find, the truth below our traumas, below our habits, is the ability to go within, deep within, into that place that is so pure that you are connecting with the love of the universal love, and specifically in this case, for me, the love of the mother. So she's always with me, but I need to be able to go inside deeply,
Mhm.
to quiet, to be still,
Mhm.
and to go deep, deep, deep within. And then in that depth, you find a tremendous expansion. You expand into the love of the universe. So it's
That's
an experience.
Yes, that's a beautiful invitation that you're suggesting is possible for humans listening right now. And sometimes when we're going through our everyday dogma of life, we forget that we have the possibility to experience that. And I imagine your book and this interview is going to call people back to the truth that they can have this type of experience or actually experience divine love or divine mother. How did that experience transform you?
It transformed me immensely, because I understood something profound, and that is that in my spiritual path, specifically, that I that that was not important for me to transcend and go up into the sky, go into the spirit up above, but that the divinity, the love that I was looking, the truth, the wisdom that I was looking, reside deep within. So it's an experience of embodiment, which is different than saying, okay, this world is a mess. This physical world is painful. It's corrupted, and it's corrupting. And so I'm going to transcend it. I'm going to transcend the emotion. I'm going to transcend the body and go up into the universe, into the sky,
Mhm.
and abandon this physical reality. This is the opposite. This is saying that love, I bring into my body. I I let it emerge from the depth of my being in this physical reality, in my daily life, so that in my daily life, I act, I act in two different ways. I act from a space of love and compassion, but also I also learn to receive the love that is always present, because the love is always present. We just need to tune into it. It's present not only within the depth of within us, below all the agitation, that we feel as human beings. But below that, there is a place that is like the source of infinite love. And and we can do a practice, not a complicated practice, but a practice to go within and connect with that. And just the intention of wanting to do that does it. We don't have to do any complicated things, because that source of infinite love is always connected with us. It's a part of us. And also learn to receive love from everything that surrounds us. Food is love, is the love of the mother nourishing us. Nature is filled with beauty and love. So it's it changed me. It
Mhm.
changed the direction of my growth, of my awareness of what I thought about spirituality. And it made me a person that that was dedicated to service to
Okay.
myself also, because that's important.
Mhm.
Where do I serve myself in this life? One way in which I can serve myself and respect myself is to love myself. And that's a big word. And what does that mean? What does that mean for me to love myself? What does it mean for you to love yourself?
Those are very powerful questions and very worthwhile questions. Um, do you think, generally speaking, human beings on Earth are disconnected from this type of embodied love experience?
Yeah, very much. And especially because even in different kind of spirituality, the goal is to transcend and to go up into the worship and the devotion to a father figure.
Yes, that's such a
That is
powerful thing.
that
Yeah, to go up, like up and out. And that's so, it's quite different, your message, what you're saying.
Yeah. And so if you go up, and a father figure that is portrayed very often by the institution of the church as a a divine, a God of judgment, a
Mhm.
God of punishment, a God of, in many ways, separation, the enemies, the day, and you have to do, certain rules, and you're guided from the outside. You have to believe in dogmas and so on and so forth. This this creates a schism, a cut off from yourself, because we are giving up the power to believe to something that we might not have experienced, just because we are asked to believe. And so I think at this time, what we need is instead to go within, to embody, to put emphasis on the development of love rather than the admiration of the light up above, you know. And so when we do that, we transform the world, because this world needs to be transformed. We spiritualize the world. The spirit is coming down into this, which becomes then the Garden of Eden. it becomes this beautiful place that is here for the experience of connection, love, creativity, really important, creating. We're all creators. Um, and um, and so we need to switch from we are the one that are right and we have the right interpretation of what God is because we have been told who God is, versus I'm putting myself in a state of openness and grounded receptivity that allows the experience of the divine in my body and in my daily life, you know, because the divine wants to love us, wants us to feel her love, his love. And see, also, this is not to substitute, we're not substituting the feminine, the mother aspect of the divine and eliminating the father. Absolutely not. We need both. We need both. And so when the father energy, the divine father energy is connected with the divine mother energy, then there is a unity, there is a sacred union that is not based on judgment and exclusion, but actually there is this powerful experience that happens where we can experience the motherly love of God and the fatherly love, the protective part of God, the fatherly love as well. And so the two come together into a whole.
Thank you for that. So let's carry on with that thought. And I invite you to just explain to me a little bit about your book. Like, is this what you're covering in your book? And do you cover a system of feminine spirituality in your book? What can readers expect? Because we want them to order your book if they feel that it's right for them. And the
You know,
cover is very beautiful. It's a beautiful cover.
so um, this book so has a path, is a description of a path. And it's the direct communication. Part of it is the direct communication of Divine Mother to us, of her love, is her expression of love toward us, combined with teachings. So the path of enlightenment is articulated in 16 divine virtues. These virtues are the qualities that we need to develop sequentially to get to the point of the sacred union that I described, the union with the Father.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
but we have to develop within ourselves these qualities. And these qualities are described as both as in prayers, in the teachings, and in practices. So there are in the book there is a part that there is a prayers, invocation, and then the teachings, and it's a transmission. The teachings are a transmission of our love to us. So one part of the teachings are poetic, because poetic expression of our love, because love needs poetry, right? Love is not, love needs to be evoked. This part is evocative. And then there is another part that describes in more practical way how to apply this particular quality. And I'll tell you, and then there is a prayer of initiation, which is we talking to the mother, saying, initiate me, and specifically to the Madonna of that virtue. Um, and to actually invoking the initiatory process to embody that virtue. So it's a whole very complete path and guidance on how to embody these different virtues. And I'm telling you, like, if you like, for example, the first virtue is purity, which is what I was describing before, the ability to connect with that divine spark within us, that divine presence with us, to know, to at least know that it's there and it's uncorrupted and uncorruptible, no matter what, how many mistakes we made, no matter how much we have been injured or traumatized, that place that this book guides you to, then she wants you to connect with, it's perfect and absolute. So that's the first virtue. The second virtue is serenity. How do we remain serene in a world that has a lot of trauma, has a lot of injustices, and many experiences where they're painful? And how do we do that? What is the process of remaining not separated from that, not repressing and not repressing the truth of what of the world that is around us, but how can we remain grounded and solid within us as we experience all these turmoils around us?
A
And
very relevant question in today's world that I'm sure many people are asking themselves.
right, so
Yeah.
that's the second virtue. The third virtue is the wisdom. So how can we, in this world of so much input, where the truth is relative, how can we remain always grounded in our wisdom? What is wisdom? What is the wisdom? And what it's a path of connecting with our deep guidance through the feelings, not through the emotion, not through the mind, not through the thoughts, because those can be misleading. But when you know, I'm sure you've had that experience in time in your life where you have had a knowing of the truth in a particular situation. You knew it.
Mhm.
And beyond the mind, beyond your emotions, you knew what the truth was. So that's through that virtue of wisdom, you learn how to do that, how to connect with your wisdom. And the fourth one is abundance. So to know that we have total abundance, and what does that mean? It's how to receive. Basically, the essence of abundance is how we need to learn to receive, because often we are in a state of lack because we are not in our feminine aspect, the feminine aspect of our being, which is receptive, it's open to receive. And so we might be extra pushing extra hard or focusing too much, not being open. And the abundance is always around us because the divine, in all her love, the mother, in all her love, wants us to be fulfilled and wants us to be abundant. So, and abundance comes in different ways, right? It's not just about money. It's a much bigger concept. It's about feeling connected with the flow of life and feeling like life is feeding you, is feeding and providing you for all the fulfillment of your needs and also your true wants. So it's a richer concept, this virtue of abundance. And then there are many other, 16 in total.
Tiziana, these are very high callings. These are high virtues like purity, wisdom. Like we
And
don't talk about these things in everyday culture, especially purity in today's day and age. And
purity. Yeah, go ahead.
it's beautiful. I mean, really, we're collectively, I think, almost at the opposite embodiment of purity. Like purity is a very, and wisdom, all of it is, there just seem to be very high callings.
Yeah, because purity, see, in this society, we always feel um, imperfect, right? Because there are all these standards that have been placed by our culture and also by the economics, the advertising, and there is all these demands of us, and also from a point of view of religion, like for example, particularly in the Christian religion, we are born in sin,
Hmm.
right? The
Yeah.
moment we become human, we're told we're born in sin
Yes.
instead of being born out of love. We're born out of love. We're not born in sin. We're born in love. Okay, um, and so we internalize our unconscious, internalize the fact there is something really wrong within us that we need to fix. There isn't something really wrong with us. Because if we connect with that divinity, that purity, that divinity is incorruptible. So all we have to do is learn there, to go in instead of out, and to listen to ourselves instead of what other people and other institutions are telling us. So it's a path. It seems like, for example, abundance, receiving, learning to receive. That's not easy because we have been taught and conditioned not to receive. We have been conditioned to go focus, have a goal that often is not even based on our true desires, right? The true desire of our souls. That is based on how we want to be appreciated or um, validated by others. And then we go for it from a very masculine, authoritarian way, disregard ourselves and our body and our needs and our spiritual needs, our interior needs. And so how do we learn to be connected with us, to respect ourselves, to respect our needs, and open to receive?
Mhm.
Because sometimes, how many times it has happened in our life where, in retrospect, we see that we discarded something that was really important, that we didn't receive, that was given to us,
True,
right?
true. Yeah.
And then we say, why? Well, because in order to receive, we need to be able to open up and be in our feminine and our feminine nature, which is the receptive nature. So we have to have a balance between the receptive nature of receiving and our projective, active nature that acts in the world, which is the masculine, which is great. We need the masculine very much. But we don't need the masculine um, oh, imprisoning the feminine. So we have to have both. And so part of this journey, of the Adorata journey, is also to connect with and bring in balance our masculine nature and our feminine nature.
Okay. Amazing. I mean, such a beautiful offering and so many gifts you're giving and imparting in this interview. Um, we're almost coming to a close, but I feel impelled to ask you, what would you say to someone listening out in the big wide world of the web here, that to someone who's troubled by feeling shame or guilt? They say they're cousins, shame and guilt.
Yeah, shame and guilt.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is very common.
Mhm.
It is, what I would say is this, please feel the shame and the guilt, okay? Feel it. Don't discard it. Don't convince yourself. Don't try. Just feel it. And then bring your love into that feeling.
Mhm.
Open up your heart, even physically, put your hand on your heart
Mhm.
and then bring that love, you know, into that feeling. Love that shame, love that, bring that golden, it's a golden energy. Bring that golden energy of compassion and love. Like if that shame and guilt were a crying child that needs love. That's the essence of enlovement. That's the essence
Wow.
of the process of enlovement. So all the traumas, because we all have traumas of some kinds, just about almost everybody has traumas. And feeling of inadequacy here and there, or parts of ourselves that are creating problems in our lives. Instead of discarding and trying to throw it away, to throw these pieces of us away, embrace them like a mother would. And that's what it means to embody the love of the mother, is to embrace that which has abandoned the heart and embrace it and bring the love into it that transforms.
Thank you so much for that. And I think that that is going to be so helpful and impactful for so many listeners, and also a perfect place to begin to close our beautiful conversation today. Um, what is I like to just say, is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience listening, or how they can reach you? I know you have a website. Would you like to share that with us so that people can learn more about you? And of course, we want you to order the book if it feels right for you.
This is this is Adorata. This is a sample book, and
Gorgeous. Congratulations as
thank
well.
you,
Very
thank
exciting.
you. Yeah, you can go to the sacred. My website is thesacredloverswithin.com. Thesacredloverswithin, all one word.com. And of course, the sacred lovers within are the masculine and feminine nature within us. Um, and I have also another website that is tizianapoet.com. Tiziana is Tiziana, poet.com. And you can reach me through both of these websites.
Excellent. And we will also put the links to Tiziana's websites in the show notes here on YouTube. And we'll also be having a link to her book, and we'll be having future interviews with you as well. So thank you for being with us here today at Clipston Publishing, where books come to life, and wishing you so much beautiful success as you launch this new book, Adorata. It's very exciting. I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. This has been a delight to speak with you.
I feel the same way. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.